Hey, peace, man. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up, family? This is Chief Kalinago with another video. Let me make sure that I'm good. All right, give me a second. Let me make sure I have audio and everything, that we're good to go. Let me make sure. All right, give me a second while I give you guys some time to tune in to this live feed. We got a good one today. All right, we got a good one. We got a good one, of course. All right, beautiful. So audio is good. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys, like I said, some time to some people, give people more time to log in into this live feed. And it's a beautiful day out here in Illinois. I still got to get used to the idea of saying Illinois opposed to Brooklyn, New York. But the wind is blowing. Hey, what's up, Chief Holiday? Peace and love, family. What's up, son of sun? That's what I'm talking about. Children of the sun. All right. I'm gonna give some people some time to log in. We're gonna talk today about Indian country. We're gonna talk about social security numbers and more. Hey, what's up, Renisha? What's up, family? I see I got my moderators in the building. Okay, that's what's up. Family, do me a favor while you're at it. Go ahead and share the link on your YouTube. Invite a few more people, because again, getting the truth to the people is paramount. You know what I mean? It's imperative that we go back to the roots. All right. I always tell people, if you don't know your story or your what they call history, sometimes it tend to repeat itself, because there is nothing new under the sun. You know what I mean? Everything is just a cycle of what has always been. So we have to know our history. We have to know where we came from in order to move forward. And that is, again, to me, bringing the truth. As you could see, I went back to the name Netherlex TV because a lot of people couldn't find my channel, but I am still gonna speak the truth. All right, it's always about bringing the truth, bringing it from a different perspective. And so what I'm gonna do is, it's literally going back towards the beginning. And after the video, I have links below. Okay, there are links below so that you could go and cross-reference everything that I speak of. Hey, what's up, Leon? Candy, what's up? Like I always tell folks, don't believe me. I always want you to think that the chief is lying. Go ahead, because I want you to do your own research. I just don't want you to take my word for it. You see, I'm not one of the people who bring information and say, hey, well, hey, you know what? This is what it is. No, I would like you to go search the information. Then after you search the information, research the information. Hey, what's up, Debbie? And also in search. Debbie, I'm in Illinois right now. Okay. But first off, can you guys hear me? Just making sure. Let me get a sound check, please. I'm still waiting for some more people to tune in. All right, because we only have about 6 people watching. I know it's early during the day, but those are some of the things that we have to do, man. We have to go back to the roots. So let me know if you guys can hear me before I get into this lecture, please. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Sound check, sound check, sound check. Go ahead, family, post the link in different groups, on Facebook. Let's go in, man. Let's go in. My phone is ringing. Okay, I'm not gonna take that right now. All right, can I get a sound check, please? Anybody that's on the live feed? Anyone? Anybody? All right. Hey, what's up, Sherry? All right, beautiful. Sound check is good. All right, thank you. All right, so family, like I said, we're gonna go as far back as we can, because the videos, first, let me make my disclaimer, okay? Videos are always for indigenous people, regardless of where you at, indigenous people around the world. But seeing that I'm in the Americas, a lot of the lectures and messages and knowledge, it seems like it may, it would not necessarily benefit, the American Aborigines more, but seeing that they spend so much time on the mainland destroying and misclassifying and miseducating the original people, then a lot of the information pertains, to the American Aborigines. But of course, I always reach out to all the indigenous people around the world, because we all need to wake up, you know, and unify. Okay, that is the key, because we all have one common enemy, and that is the oppressor, you know, that goes around the world destroying nature, destroying Mother Earth, destroying our home. That is our common enemy. Okay, that's the ones that are oppressing indigenous people around the world. Okay, but seeing that I'm in the Americas, in the United States, then some of the information would be very, very useful to the indigenous people here. So I just wanted to make that claim. Those are the people I direct my messages and lectures to. Okay, I am not referring to the United States citizens. All right, that's not what I'm talking about, because I don't want to come across as me soliciting citizens of the United States. So I like to put my my information, and of course I still reserve all my rights. All right, so I'm not giving up any of my rights. Hey, what's up, Ra Amon? Okay, so family, we're gonna go talk first. Okay, we're gonna talk about Indian country. What is Indian country? Okay, Indian country is the entire Americas. Okay, now I have showed you guys in many videos that the Americas is a continent. A lot of times when people speak of the United States, they say America. The United States of America is not America. The United States of America is a country in America. Therefore, when a lot of people from the Caribbean, they say, well, hey, I'm going to America. And hey, you know what? I am guilty of that as well. I used to be one of those people. You know, we all have been ignorant to something. All right. But with that being said, you know, people would just say, I'm going to America, not knowing that they're already in America. So part of, you know, my mission is to enlighten and awaken a lot of the Caribbean people and let them know that they are Americans. They are already in America. Literally, they are leaving America to go to another country in America. And I have given you many examples. For instance, if somebody from Ghana goes to Nigeria, they don't say they're going to Africa. They say they are going to Nigeria. Vice versa. If somebody from Nigeria is going to Ghana, they don't say they're going to Africa. They are going to Ghana. All right. So the point I'm trying to make is, if you are in the Caribbean, you are already in the Americas, regardless of what country you are. It could be the smallest of the small, and the surroundings, you are already in America. So when the world say, hey, you know, we hate America, what do you mean? Do you hate America, or do you hate the United States of America? You see, it's two different things. The United States of America is a country in America. So let's get that. We just want to get that straight right here. Okay. Now, Indian country is the entire continent. Like I said, the entire continent. When the invaders came, they were traveling west. All right. The west. So they call the entire landmass the Indies, the West Indies, the Indies. So they call the inhabitants of that land the Indians. Okay. So America, the continent, is Indian country. All right. Now, you have what's called the United States, that was established, okay, in or on Indian country. So the first thing I'm going to do is to show you a current, no, well, not a current map. I'm going to show you a map of Indian country, well, the United States right now, before, hey, copper power, brother, before, you know, they renamed a lot of the parts of this, what you call the United States. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you, because a lot of people don't know the history. A lot of people don't know what's going on. And for you to get out of the mess that you're in, you have to know where you came from, and you have to know where you're going. All right. So allow me to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you a map of, you know, the United States of America before they changed those names. And I'm certainly sure we had names before that, but I'm going to show you a map. All right. And just bear with me for 1 second. Let me share my screen. I appreciate the patience. Okay, so this is a map, all right, that we have here of tribes of Indian country. Okay, and that's something that you could Google and find yourself. All right. However, I could I'm gonna try to find that map itself so that I could put it in the description. But you know, you would see that a lot of the places, okay, that are on the map, this is actually the map of the United States before it was renamed. But I'm going to try to see if I could do a side by side, not necessarily a side by side, but if I can, because I know space is kind of limited here, but I'm going to see if I could do this. All right. And you could see certain places. All right. And you could see where they renamed a lot of those places. Like you could see they had areas. Okay. They had certain areas, like you had Blackfoot, you had Crow, you had Shoshone. Those are tribes, those are people. Okay, you have Paiute, you have Apache, you have Navajo, you have Ute, you have the Puni, you have the Sioux, you have the Cree, you have the Apache again. I'm just showing you different areas. You have the Choctaw, the Cherokee, the Shawnee. But if you go in detail and you look at certain areas, all right, take for instance where you have Missouri, Illinois, you have all the different tribes and their names. And I'm talking about before the United States came and established itself and renamed those areas. So again, that's proven to you that it's Indian country. Okay, the United States of America, the entire Americas is Indian country. Okay, you have to know the true history of your home. All right, now on this map, as you could see, they have renamed everything. And I'm talking about from top to bottom, all those names were changed. All right. So I just wanted to point that out for you guys. I will try to see if I could get that in the link as well so that you could see that. All right. Okay, beautiful. All right. So family, give me a second here. I'm going to try again to see if I could get that map and put it in the link below. But as you could see, the United States of America, they changed all the names of what the indigenous people called the land or called the areas that they were in. Okay, that's how a lot of the tribes were named. If they lived by a river or a certain land, certain type of land, they would name them the tribe after that certain river or creek or whatever. You know what I mean? But just so you know, again, the United States, that complete 50 states, that whole landmass, okay, is part of Indian country. And the indigenous people, when they came, they met, they call the Indians. All right. Now, a lot of people have the misconception of what Indians are or who Indians are. Okay. A lot of times when they see people like me, they tend to think we're from Africa or they put us in Africa, not knowing that in the Americas, the original people that were here were the copper skinned people, the copper toned people, the melanated people. All right. But the thing is this, because of the miseducation of our people, okay, they don't teach us that in school. And I tell people, you have to realize this. Your enemy is not going to teach you your true history. Your enemy is not going to teach you your true culture. Why would they? It wouldn't benefit them. So now it's up to you to do your own searching, okay, to find your own truth. You have to find your story because your story has become his story. And he has given you a version, whitewashed your story. In other words, stole your birthright, okay, and have you exiled in your own home, okay? So my job again is to wake the people up, exactly the Redskins. And when we say the Redskins, I tell people, you know, they didn't call us, we're not black. As a matter of fact, we are closer to red skin than black. You know what I mean? So it's time to wake up, family. And again, my goal and my job is to bring you the truth. All right. Raz said, the chief said, they are using our culture right under our nose. Of course, it's right in front of us. If you look at the streets, like the chief said, the counties, you know, different terms, etc., you would see that it goes back to, you know, indigenous names. All right. Notice how you just a few people getting this real inner information, so you know how narrow the road is. Of course, Ra, I already know, but like I said, it's okay. You know, the information that I bring may not be popular, but the people who are seeking the truth, they will find it. And that's why I try to be a different platform on YouTube in bringing the truth to our people, because I realize that the status quo, the popular people on YouTube, they are the ones misleading our people. But that's not my goal and that's not my aim. My job is to bring the truth to the people so that we could have a true awakening. And first things, let me just say I have some information in the link below so that you guys could check the reference and cross-reference. Also, I just want to say thank you for the couple of people who donated to my GoFundMe. I appreciate that. In the notes, you said that you appreciate the hard work I do and all that I bring to the platform. And I just want to thank you for your donation. So that means a lot to me. Thank you. I just wanted to give the few people that donated yesterday thanks. All right. Okay. So family. So now that we have established, all right, we have established that the whole continent is Indian country. So if the whole continent is in the Indian country, definitely by default, the United States of America is also Indian country. All right. So let me go into the next phase of this lecture. Now, again, a lot of people don't believe that we were already here. Of course, there is extensive information and research to prove that we have been here. But I'm just going to show you a quick excerpt from a letter that Varazona, okay, sent to the King of France. All right. I have also provided links of that in other videos, but I'm just going to prove to you again to show who the people they saw when they came. All right. So let us go into this. I'm going to share my screen with you again. So bear with me, family. Bear with me. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this here. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so this right here is part of an excerpt in 1524. Varazona, as a matter of fact, he was named, the Varazona Bridge in New York was named after him. Okay, that was in March 1524. So if in 1524, they are telling you and they are describing the people that they saw in the Americas, okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Did all these people just disappear and all of a sudden became light or pale and became the natives of the land? And this is not a blow to the native, our native family, but this is to identify who we are and to let people know that we were the ones who have always been here. Okay. Now it says, again, this is just part of that letter that I got, but you could research that yourself as well. It says, they go completely naked, except that around their loins, they wear skins of small animals like mittens, with a narrow belt of grass around the body, to which they tie various tails of other animals which hang down to the knees. The rest of the body is bare, and so is the head. Some of them wear garlands of birds' feathers. They are dark in color. I'm going to repeat that. They are dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians with thick black hair, but very long tied back behind the head like small tail. Okay, so they compared us to what you call the Ethiopians. All right, let me just stop sharing the screen here. Okay, so family, as you could see, in 1524, Varazona gave a description of the people that were already here. That was just in 1524. We're talking about a few hundred years ago. So what are you trying to tell me? When the invader came and they saw this copper-skinned people, you heard what he said. They were dark in color, unlike the Ethiopians, meaning that we had a different tone, okay? We had a different skin texture. We were not like the Ethiopians, but we were dark. So my question to you is, what happened to these people? Where did they go? All the millions of the people who were already here. How come all of a sudden you have natives who are pale and they are considered the Indians, but yet still the so-called Negro or the so-called black man or African American, they're called Africans. But yet still when they came, they found dark people. So my question to you is this: where did these dark people go? You see, and they say that to hide anything from you know what, put it in a book. You see, and a lot of our people get stuck in this conscious community and they don't want to learn their true story because they like to go with what's popular. You see, I am not here to be popular. I am here to bring the truth so that you would know who you are, so that you could put yourself in a position to reclaim what's yours because your birthright was stolen. And I'm just going to say, I'm only going back to 1524. I'm not even going back further than that. I mean, I don't even have to go further, but I'm going to validate that for you. Okay. 1524, Varazona sent a letter to the King of France describing the people in the Americas. They are dark in color, unlike the Ethiopians. Why would they compare pale people to Ethiopians? Wouldn't they say that they are pale, unlike the Europeans or the Pilgrims? They didn't compare them to that because that's not who they were. The indigenous people of the Americas were dark. You're looking at one of them right now. The copper-colored people. And that was only in 1524. So I'm going to ask you again. You see, I have to ask the same question. Where did these people go? Did they just become extinct? And all of a sudden, they reappeared because they came on a slave ship that they can't find, that never existed? But you see, they want to get you caught, okay, with the lies so that they could put you in Africa so that they could claim your land. But I hope y'all hear me though. Okay, now I just showed you what Varazona, a description of what Varazona found in 1524. Now let's go to 1828. Now you see, and family, you have to pay attention to the dates here. 1524, the people were still dark. Okay, now let's go to 1828, Noah's Webster's Dictionary. 1828, and I'm just talking about a few years, centuries ago. All right, let us go to that. Again, I'm going to share my screen, and please forgive me if I'm a little bit all over the place, but try to follow the lecture, please. I appreciate your time. Okay, so we have here 1828, all right, American Dictionary of the English Language. Now, of course, with a new updates, they're going to take these things out because our people are waking up, so they don't want them to find those things. But let's look at the Noah's Webster's Dictionary 1828, the definition of American. And I'm going to ask you again, why would they lie about that? Why would they put that in their book? Why would they put that in a dictionary? Because you think they want you to feel good? No, the oppressor is not going to give you anything so that you could realize your true identity. They always hide it, but it's my job to find it and bring it to you. Okay, now American, adjective pertaining to America. Again, America is a continent. It is not the United States of America. They are talking about the continent. Definition of American, noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals. Do you know what that means? Ab means from. Original, from the original people, the ancient ones. I'm going to repeat that again. American, and that's in 1828, a definition. Noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races. Again, in 1524, Varazona told you the people were dark, unlike the Ethiopians. If you look at an Ethiopian, you would see they are of a darker hue than we are. Okay, so we were a couple of shades lighter than the Ethiopian, but they still made the comparison saying that we were dark. Okay, so my question to you again is, where did these people go? Even in 1828, when they give a description of America, this is what they said: a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now applied to the descendants of the Europeans born in America. Okay, family, all I could do is just show you the information. Okay, all right, all I could do is just show you the information. Now it's up to you to do what you want with it. Okay, so now I took you to 1524 when they gave a description of the indigenous people that they found in the Americas. And then we talking about years, centuries later, in 1828, they are still giving a description of the American people, the Aborigines, the color-coppered races that was found in America by the Europeans, in other words, the Pilgrims. Okay? But now the term is being applied to the descendants of the Europeans. It's called trading places. It's called taking your birthright. They told you what they did in their perverted Bible. But of course, I hope y'all hear me though. You see, don't believe me. I never want you to believe me. I want you to say that the truth is that the chief is lying. I want you to prove me wrong. You see, I bring facts. So it shows that you were already here. Okay? 1524. Letters going to France describing the people. In 1828, also a description of Americans. Even earlier, okay, when Christopher Columbus supposedly discovered things, they had description of what was happening in the Americas with the conquistadors, all right, the Spaniards, the Portuguese, the English, the French. They were literally taking American Aborigines and sending them to Africa, Europe, and England. Okay, so the transatlantic slave trade, really, they told you in reverse. It was really the Indian slave trade, where they were taking our people and taking them to Africa. It wasn't the other way around. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they didn't take some Africans and brought them here. I am not saying that. But the slave trade is literally was Haitians and Brazilians, indigenous people, the original copper-colored people. They were taken and sent into Africa and Europe and Italy, all those places. So therefore, when you do DNA test and they tell you that they test those people in West Africa and they tell you that's where you're from, no, it's where they are from. They are from here. It's the other way around. There is a reason why they have to keep you misclassified, misidentified. There is a reason why they have to do that, because if a people is not attached to the land, then their land become available. So through the doctrine of discovery, the land will be taken. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna do something even better here. All right, I'm gonna get some information here for you, and give me just 1 second. I have that. Do I have that here? Or will I put that in the link already, so I could go to Google and get this for you guys right now? So family, give me 1 second, because like I said, I like to prove what I'm saying. Okay, I just don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. So give me a second here while I pull this up. All right, bear with me for a second. I should have thought about that anyway, but doctrine of discovery. Okay, there we go. See, I want to make sure I give you guys this information here. All right, so that it's not just me talking. Okay, it's not just me talking. All righty, here we go. All right, so I'm also gonna put that in the link, but let me share my screen here for a second, so that you guys could, get a vision of what I'm talking about. Give me a second here. I'm going to share the screen again. All right. Okay. So right here you have the doctrine of discovery. Doctrine of discovery. And I'm getting that source from this doctrine of discovery .org. Doctrine of discovery ? What's that? All right. I'm reading now. Doctrine of Christian discovery. After repudiation, what's next? Okay, doctrine of Christian discovery, May 24th. All right, /25, 2014. That's when they did that publication, I guess. But let us read. Papal bulls of the 15th century gave Christian explorers the right to claim lands they discovered and lay claim to those lands for their Christian monarchs. Now, I'm going to repeat that. For all you people that call yourself Christians, just know where it came from and what these Christians did to our people. That's how you became Christians. Okay? We were not Christians in the American continent or on the American continent, or pretty much no indigenous people around the world were Christians. Okay, that came from the colonizers, the enslavers, the pilgrims. But I'm going to read that again. Papal bulls of the 15th century gave Christian explorers the right to claim lands. Okay, the papal bull gave them the right, but in the Bible it said God gave them the right. Again, I'm going to read it for you. So therefore, when they speak of their God in the Bible and their lords, they are speaking of the lords of England, the gods of Rome. Okay, the Catholic gods, those are your gods in the Bible, and those are your lords. That's why I don't subscribe to their gods and their lords. All right. The papal bull of 15th century gave Christian explorers the right to explore lands they discovered and lay claim to those lands. Okay, so in other words, the people were already here, but we're just gonna say we discovered it because it wasn't known to us. Seeing that we are the lords and we are the gods, we're gonna lay claim to your land, and that's why they called us savages. Okay, any land that was not inhabited by Christians was available to be discovered. Now you hear that? Any land that was not inhabited by Christians. Now it's not telling you that the land wasn't inhabited. Okay, a lot of times what people read, but they don't read to comprehend. I'm going to repeat that. If that was not inhabited by Christians, it was available to be discovered. So therefore, the people who were already here, seeing that they were not Christians, that means by the doctrine of discovery, the papal bull, automatically it put that land under what's called discovery, so that it could be claimed by the explorers and by the Christians to be exploited. Okay, if the pagan inhabitants, now that's what they call us, pagan. So you see, all our ancestral customs and practices and spiritual and rituals, they call it pagan. Again, they put that in the perverted Bible. Family, you got to wake up and see who wrote that Bible. It wasn't inspired by no sky daddy. That Bible came from the slave masters, the pilgrims. Okay, your oppressors. That's where it came from. The Lord in the Bible are the lords of England. That's the only place they have lords on the face of the earth right now. Okay, now they might be spared. Okay, if not, they could be enslaved or killed. I'm going to repeat that. If the pagan inhabitants could be converted, they would be spared. If not, they could be enslaved or killed. I'm going to repeat myself. So for all you Christians and all you religious people who call yourself converts, now you again, I know a lot of you suffer from, cognitive dissonance. All right. You afraid to research. Even if you see the truth, you're not going to believe because they taught you to be afraid of a sky daddy. But I'm not going to make this about religion. But however, it all ties into what it is. These pastors and ministers, they know the truth, but they continue to mislead what they call the sheep, because they always say that the sheep need a shepherd. All right. Now it says that if not, they would be enslaved. So that means if the inhabitants, they call them pagan, could not be converted, because our ancestors fought against Christianity. They fought against not accepting that paganized Jesus. The gods in the Bible, it wasn't indigenous to us. Our people fought against it. So they called them pagan. And if they could not be converted, they would either be killed or enslaved. Some of our people got killed. Some of them got enslaved. So let me ask you a question. How many Native Americans that they call Indians today were enslaved by these people? Okay. So again, I'm going back to show you proof about the people that they met here. Let us continue. The doctrine of discovery is a concept of public international law expounded by the United States Supreme Court in a series of decisions, initially in Johnson versus McIntosh, 1823. The doctrine was Chief Justice John Marshall's explanation of the way in which colonial powers laid claim to the newly discovered lands during the Age of Discovery. Under it, Title to newly discovered lands lay with the government whose subjects discovered new territory. The doctrine has been primarily used to support the decisions in invalidating or ignoring Aboriginal possession of the land in favor of colonial or post-colonial governments. All right, I'm going to end this here. All right, family. So you see what the doctrine of discovery is all about. All right, that is something that you could go look up yourself. All right, I'm trying to close this here. Come on. All right. So you could go look up the doctrine of discovery here. Now, I am taking y'all to school now. This is what we call school. Okay. This is the truth platform here. All right. So as you could see, what happened with the doctrine of discovery. So like I said, with all the religious people that's out here now, that's brain dead, that don't know the history, that don't study, they got their head stuck in the Bible because that's all their pastors want them to know. You know what? Just put your head in the Bible. And anything I tell you, it means that's what it means. But the pastors are not telling you the truth about where this thing came from. These people have it in their, they have it in their archives. The doctrine of discovery, meaning that the inhabitants of the land, the copper melanated people, okay, the indigenous people, when they came, they called us pagans. They called us savages. Okay, now they gave us a few choices. Okay, you could either be converted, you could be a slave, or you got killed. Go look it up yourself. Don't believe me. I want you to say that the chief is lying. Tell me I'm lying. Please prove me wrong. Okay, so some of our ancestors fought because they didn't want to accept Jesus, because Jesus wasn't real. They knew that it wasn't indigenous to us. Okay, they knew that the God in the Bible was man-made because we already had spirituality. You're trying to tell me that the people who have been existing for millions of years, they didn't know who the creator was? All of a sudden, it took the slave masters, the pilgrims, okay, the Europeans to come and tell us who God was? Like, seriously. But y'all don't hear me though. So through the doctrine of discovery, you was converted. You see what I'm saying? You was converted or you became a slave. Who became slaves? The indigenous people. So why are they only calling the so-called natives today Indians? What happened to the people, the copper-colored people? What happened to the people in 1524 that Varazona spoke about? What happened to the people that they described in 1824 Noah's Webster's dictionary? They call them indigenous aboriginals. They haven't called them Africans one bit. But yet still today, y'all from Africa, right? All of a sudden, poof, these original people, they became extinct. And all of a sudden, Africans just showed up on the American continent. But y'all don't hear me though. Let us go into what you might call it, into the feed to see what my family is talking about here. All right, it says, peace, indigenous family. Hey, peace. My grandmother told us we were chopped up. Family, that's who we are. That's who we are. Thank God for you, Lex. Well, family, you know what? I'm just doing what I was called to do. So, you know, give thanks to the ancestors. You know, I don't take any credit for that. You know, but I appreciate that. Chief Holiday, whoa, that get out saying, but I guess it means sleeping too in the land of the Nod. Absolutely. How can we be listed as an Aborigine again? Well, family, you know, without being a Hebrew or more, you know, it's literally, you know, I post also, I have in the description right here below, the UNDRIP document, okay, the United States Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People is in the link below. Also, I have the American Declaration for the Rights of Indigenous People in the link below. It was adopted June 15th of 2016. So that shows you that you have the right to self-identify. So 2000 watts, read that, okay? And, you know, that will give you ideas and more concepts of how you could, you know, literally identify yourself, because you have the right to. Everything else was forced upon us, all right? So I hope that makes sense. To please, what is previous video to the fan? You will find much answers there. All right, yes, I wish I could be Aboriginal without religion. Well, you know what, 2000 watts, you don't have to wish you were Aborigine. You are, if you are indigenous to the Americas, you are the American Aborigine. So there's no need to wish it. Okay, what our ancestors were, we are. Okay, if a dog has children, they are still dogs. It doesn't matter where they go. You feel me? It doesn't matter how many generations after. Okay, that dog is still the child of that first dog. So the point I'm trying to make is, if we are indigenous, if our ancestors are the ancient ones, then we are the descendants of the ancient ones. So we don't have to wish to be American Aborigine. That's who we are. We are the indigenous copper people they found when they came here. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. All right, so family, let us continue with this right here. Okay, what else do we have here? All right, so we're gonna, let me just not do that just yet. I'm gonna go into what's called, where did I put this? Where did I put this? I hope I didn't lose this thing right here, but I could always pull it up. So family, so let me explain something to y'all, all right? We are the American Aborigines, the copper-colored people they found here when they came. Now they call us Indians, all right? Now here's where things start to kind of get a little tricky in determining who and what are Indians, okay? Now, the land, the American continent, our ancestors believed that we shouldn't own the land because the land owned us. That's what our ancestors thought, all right? But when the invaders came, the pale-skinned people came, the pilgrims came, of course, with the doctrine of discovery, I just showed you what it was. They laid claim to the land. Now, our people fought to death. I'm talking about we had wars. We had wars. I'm talking that lasted for 100 years and more with our ancestors fighting. So we weren't slaves. We didn't come here on no slave ship. We were fighting. You see, people don't fight for what's not theirs. People fight for what's theirs. And because they have taught you that this is not your land, you are not fighting for your land. But our ancestors fought because they know that this is our home. So what they had to do was this. In order to prevent you from knowing who you are, they had to change your identity. We are the only ones in the entire world, okay, the ethnic group that our identity has been changed over and over and over again. Now, that's for a reason. That is because if you know who you are, you could lay claim to your land. That's your birthright. You feel me? So the trick was this. Let us confuse these people by beating the Indian out of them. All the so-called presidents, that was their job. They had one goal, to beat the Indian out of you. By them beating the Indian out of you, they could reclassify you, and therefore the allodial title of that land switches. It now goes to the people who discovered the land, opposed to the people who is the heir to the land, which is us. I hope that makes sense. The only way they could have taken your land legally was to change your identity and have you accept a different identity. So therefore the allodial title of that land will not be yours anymore. However, I got some good news for you. That land is still in a trust for the original people. But of course, you're calling yourself black, you're calling yourself African American, so you cannot get back what's yours. And I've already spoken to you guys about that on numerous amount of times or occasions. Okay? So they had to create, well, I don't want to be disrespectful. They brought in now what they created was the Native Americans. Call them the Indians. That's when Hollywood started showing you what Indians look like. Okay? That is what Hollywood, again, that's part of their job. Showing you what they had to do. Whitewash your story. So now you're here thinking that the only Indians are the native people they call Indians right now. Those are native Indians. Yes, they are. But they are not the American Aborigines. They are not the original people they call Indians. The original people they call Indians are who they described in 1524, Varazona described, and in 1828, Webster's Dictionary, Noah's Webster's Dictionary. Those are the original Indians. But they had to beat it out of you. That's why your great-grandmama and your great-grandpapa will tell you have a little bit of Indian. That is a code word for you are the real Indian. Because to say you had Indian in you or you were Indian, we were getting lynched and killed for that. All right? So I'm going to show you a couple of things here because like I said, this is about the truth. I bring things that other people, a lot of other people don't bring. You know what I mean? And once again, I want to thank you guys for donating to the GoFundMe. A couple of people donated, so I'm just so thankful for that. So the link is below. Support, because like I said, this is what I do all day, doing the research, doing the searching, researching, and then bringing the information to you. So please, as I give to you, please give back. So the link is below. Support. All right. But let me show you something else real quick. All right. Give me a second here while I get this information for you. We're going to go here and we're going to bring that up. Let me see where that's at. Where do I have it? I have it in what's called lecture. So give me a second here, family. Okay. So I have that here. I have that here. All right, cool. So I'm going to put that on my desktop. No, I need this one here. Okay. All right. So family, here we are. I'm going to share my screen again and show you something. Okay. I'm going to show you something. I also have a link in the description below. Okay. Well, where we have that here. Okay. I also have the link in the description below, so you guys could check that out as well. All right. I'm going to get this right here. Give me a second. Let me just get this document. I want to get you guys this. Where it's at, where it's at, where it's at. Okay, here we go. Okay. Man, I'm taking y'all to school today, man. I'm taking y'all to school today. All right, I'm taking y'all to school today because, like I said, this conscious community, man, they're deceiving our people. They're lying to our people because they're getting paid by these people. They are agents, okay? They're agent that's misleading our people, and I'm not going to have it. All right, I'm not going to have it. So I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to share my screen with you. Family, give me, just let me finish with the lecture, and I'll come back to that because I really want to stay on point with this right now. So I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to show you something else. I'm going to show you something else. Okay, so I hope, I'm certainly sure you guys could probably see this, but I hope you can. All right, so this right here is, as you could see, the publication, it has a number 175, and that's the Indian Citizen Act. Okay, this is the Indian Citizen Act. Indian Citizen Act. All right, I think of 1924. So I'm going to read that to you. Again, all this stuff is archived. All right, now this is just a synopsis of the act, but I put the long version in the description so you could go check it out yourself. But I'm going to read. Okay, 68th / Congress of the United States of America, at the first session, begun and held at the city of Washington on Monday, the 3rd day of December, 1923. Okay, so that's in 1923, but the act was actually adopted 1924. So to authorize the Secretary of the Interior to issue certificates of citizenship to Indians, it reads, be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives, the United States of America in Congress assembled, that all non-citizen Indians born within the territorial limits of the United States be, and they are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States. Provided, you see the condition, provided that the granting of such citizenship shall not in any manner impair or otherwise affect the right of any Indian to tribal or other property. I'm going to repeat that again. It reads, be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that all non-citizen Indians born within the territorial limits of the United States be, and they are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States, provided that the granting of such citizenship shall not in any manner impair or otherwise affect the right of any Indian to tribal or other property. Okay, so family, let me just close this here because we have to explain what that means. No. I just want to, all right, you know what, let me just, okay. I have to explain what that means. So as you could see, This proves again that you are not a citizen of the United States. A lot of you are under the impression, I'm talking about when I say you, and again, let me just make my disclaimer. I am not trying to solicit any United States citizens. I am talking and presenting a lecture to the indigenous people of the Americas, okay? The people who are misclassified as Black and African American, the American Aborigines, okay? That's who I'm talking to. High vibes, Jazzy. Okay, so this document proves that you are not a citizen. You see, the problem is you don't know that you are the Indian. Okay, it's kind of like a mirror effect. You see, the so-called Negro had the same issue with becoming citizens. What they're not telling you is it's the same thing. The Negro and the Indian is the same thing. Okay, so the Indians became citizens. They grant them citizenship, provided, you see that word provided, it's a condition that it doesn't impair or affect the Indian to tribal, ways or culture or property. Now I'm going to ask you a question. I have proven to you that you're the Indian because I took you back to show that the people they met, they called Indians, were the copper people. So now, there's no conversation to have about that. You are the Indian. Now, they grant us citizenship, provided that it didn't impair or affect our tribal ways or our property. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. What are your tribal ways? Do you still have your tribal ways? Good. So that means it impaired you being an Indian. So that means you're not a citizen. You see the trick? I'm going to ask you another question. Do you have your property, meaning that do you have your lands? Do you have your land? No, you don't have your land. So that means you are not a citizen because it impaired you being an Indian. Family, everything is there. It is in the archives. So for those of you who think that you are citizens of the United States, you are not citizens of the United States. Okay, going around calling yourself Black and African American thinking you're a citizen. No, because you are the Indian they renamed. That means they could call you anything. They could call you anything because guess what? You are not a citizen. So when they shoot you in the streets, hello. Well, I don't want to say hello because I don't want to send you to hell. But family, wake up. They kill you in the streets is because you are literally an animal, 3/5 of a human. I mean, how much more can I bring this to you, family? Huh? Now you know that you are the Indian. They're telling you that we grant you citizenship, provided that it doesn't impair or affect your tribal ways or you having your property. Do you call living in the projects your property? No, the entire continent is yours. That's your property. Do you have it? Do you have your tribal ways? That means you are not a citizen. But I hope y'all hear me though. I hope y'all hear me. I hope y'all hear me, man. Anyway, I'm going to continue. All right. I'm going to prove to you again. You see, the problem is this. They don't want the American Aborigine to wake up. They don't want the indigenous people to wake up. Now, if you look at, I do have, again, in the description, the United, on drip, the United Nations Declaration for the Rights of Indigenous People, and also adopted last year, 2016, June 15th, the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Now, let me ask you a question, and that is not a low blow to our Native brothers and sisters, okay? A lot of them played a role in, disenfranchising the original people. Yes, because they made a deal with these devils. We're gonna give you, we're gonna trade places, okay? We're gonna give you their land. We're gonna give you their rights, okay? But you have to get rid of them. You have to become the Indian. In other words, you have to replace them. Okay, so that's what happened to our people. Even a lot of our people who wanted to open casinos, the natives, some of the natives right now made deals that they had to get rid of the darker Indians before they could literally get permission to open up casinos. So you have to see and know what happened to our people here. Okay? So the point of the matter is this. The American Aborigines, that they have been changing our identity over and over and over again, while they put the Native Americans in your place, okay, as a placeholder to be the Indian that you are, and reaping some of your benefits, but they really have privileges because, you know, their structures is built on what the federal government allow them to have. So they're not truly free. But the point of the matter is, and the truth of the matter is, the American Aborigine need to step up because our land is waiting for us. But you are black and you are African American, so you can't get it back. But let me show you something else, that the Constitution of the United States of America, it's ours. Yes, the American Aborigines, our people, the American Indian, we created it. And I'm going to show it to you again, and I'm going to prove it to you in their archives. Okay? Give me 1 second. Let me just pull up this document here. Where do I have this? Indian citizen. Okay. So family, give me a second. I'm going to share my screen again and screen share where we have that. Screen share. All right. Family, we're going to go in. This is school. We are going in today. We are going in. All right. Good. All right. So this right here, I'm going to prove to you that our ancestors were the ones who literally set up the government, because we already had our governmental structures. We didn't need them to set up a constitution for us. We already had our systems. Okay, so now this reads, and I also have this in the link below for you guys so you could check it out as well. All right, now it says 100th Congress, second session, Congress.res, I guess that stands for resolution .331. I should probably play that number. But anyway, in the Senate of the United States, October 5th, Legislative Day, September 26, 1988, received and referred to the Select Community on Indian Affairs, October 21st, Legislative Day, October 18th, 1988, Committee Discharge. Current resolution. It reads, to acknowledge the contribution of the Iroquois Confederacy of the nations to the development of the United States Constitution, and to reaffirm the continuing government-to-government relationship between the Indian tribes and the United States established in the Constitution. I'm going to repeat myself again. The United States is a structure, it's a construct that was established within our Constitution, the original Constitution. Okay, so it reads, to acknowledge the contribution of the Iroquois Confederacy of the nations to development of the United States Constitution, and to reaffirm the continuing government-to-government relationship between the Indian tribes and the United States established in the Constitution. Whereas the original framers of the Constitution, including most notably George Washington and Benjamin Franklin, are known to have greatly admired the concept of the Six Nations of the Iroquois Confederacy. I'm going to repeat that. Whereas the original framers of the Constitution, you hear that? The original framers of the Constitution, including most notably. So it is telling you that we are the original framers of the Constitution, the so-called Indians, the American Aborigines. And it says, including most notably, George Washington and Benjamin Franklin are known to have greatly admired the concepts of the Six Nations of the Iroquois Confederacy. Whereas the confederation of the original 13 colonies into one republic was influenced by the political system developed by the Iroquois Confederacy, as were many of the democratic principles which were incorporated into the Constitution itself. And whereas since the formation of the United States, the Congress has recognized the sovereign status of the Indian tribes and has, through the exercise the powers of reserved to the federal government in commerce clause of Constitution, Article 1, S.2, CL.3, dealt with Indian tribes on a government-to-government basis and has, through the treaty clause, entered into 370 treaties with the Indian tribal nations. Whereas from the first treaty entered into with an Indian nation, the treaty with the Delaware Indians of September 1778, the Congress has assumed a trust responsibility and obligation to the Indian tribes of their members. Whereas this trust responsibility calls for Congress to exercise the utmost good faith in dealing with Indians as provided for in the Northwest Ordinance of 1787, open bracket, first statute, .50, close bracket, semicolon, whereas the judicial system of the United States has consistently recognized and reaffirmed this special relationship now, okay, let me continue. Therefore be it, 1, resolved by the House of Representatives, the Senate, 2, concurring that, 3, Section 1, the Congress on occasion of 200th anniversary of signing of the United States Constitution acknowledge the contribution made by the Iroquois Confederation and other Indian nations to the formation and development of the United States. I hope you guys are hearing me. 2, the Congress also hereby reaffirms the constitutionally recognized government-to-government relationship with Indian tribes, which has been the cornerstone of this nation's official Indian policy. 3, the Congress specifically acknowledges and reaffirms that the trust responsibility and obligation of the United States government to Indian tribes, including Alaska Natives, for their preservation, protection, and enhancement, including the provision of health, education, social, and economic assistance programs as necessary, and including the duty to assist tribes in their performance of government responsibilities to provide for the social and economic well-being of their members and to preserve tribal cultural identity and heritage. All right, I'm almost done. Give me a second here. And the Congress also acknowledges the need to exercise the utmost good faith in upholding its treaties with the various tribes, as the tribes understood them to be, and the duty of the great nation to uphold its legal and moral obligations for the benefit of all of its citizens, so that they and their posterity may also continue to enjoy the rights they have enshrined in the United States Constitution for time immemorial. That means for eternity, past the House Congress, okay? And so basically, that is the end of that document right there. But family, again, I am asking you guys to pay attention and wake up. All right, let me stop sharing the screen here. Close that. Give me a second. Let me get back to you here. Okay. All right. So family, now that I'm back, so I am showing you and proving to you that our ancestors, okay, the indigenous people, the American Aborigines, we already had a constitution. But when the United States government was supposed to be established, they adopted our constitution. And George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, okay, they played a role, okay, in also forming, okay, what we already had. Not forming, but just literally establishing it, taking the United States of America, their constitution, and, you know, established it into the constitution that we already had. So as you could see, the obligation that this government has towards what called the Indian people. But you, as the original people, the Indians, what they call the Indians, you can't see who you are. And for you not to get benefit of those rights and those treaties, they had to take away your identity. You see, family, now I hope it all makes sense. For them to treat you differently, they had to make you black. They had to make you African American, so that that Constitution don't apply to you. Family, how much more can I tell you? I mean, it's taking a lot of energy, but you know what? I love what I do. I'm not complaining. Okay, I am giving you the information because I love you. All right, but I am showing you who you are. Those things were put in place by our ancestors to protect us, but they took you out of that to put you in a jurisdiction where you are now called Black and African American so that you could get abused, because the Constitution wasn't made to protect Black people and African Americans. Family, how much more can I tell you? I mean, how much more can I tell you? What more do you want? Huh? I mean, let us go to the chat. Okay, let us build a little bit, because this takes up a lot of energy, man. You know, because I am trying so hard for my people to see the truth. You know, and a lot of times, I guess my emotions get in the way, man. And it hurts. And if only you guys just knew who you are, and that this is our country, this is our land. And that you are not from Africa, you're not African American. Okay, and the only reason why they are able to abuse you is because the Constitution don't apply to you, because you are Black, you're African American. It wasn't meant for you. It was meant for the Aboriginal people. But the thing is, you are the Aboriginal people, but you have identified another classification, okay, that took you out of that jurisdiction that protects you. You see what I'm saying? And family, that's what I'm trying to put together, so that our people come together so that we can make these moves. And you see what it says. They are supposed to deal with us from a government to government, on a government to government basis. If you read on DRIP and the American Declaration, you have a right to self-governance, family. And these people have a right to deal with us on a government to government basis. That's why their general said, we have to look out for the tribes from 2016 moving forward. We have to look out for the tribes, because that's what you have to go back to, okay? Your clans, all right, family? So that Constitution that our ancestors set up to protect us, it will protect you. Right now, you are literally having sex, and I hate to put it that way. You're literally having sex without a condom and catching AIDS. I hope that makes sense, because the condom is the Constitution that our ancestors put in place. But right now, you are going raw. So now you caught AIDS, which is you are Black and you are African American, because it is a disease. It is leprosy. And that's why they have a right to treat you the way they do, because the Constitution doesn't apply to you. You are not a citizen. Man. All right. I'm going to show you something else again. And family, I'm not upset. I'm just passionate about what I do. All right. I'm going to show you something again. Let me pull up another screen and share my screen with you again. All right. Give me a second here, please. All right. Where did I have that? Where did I have that? I'm not sure if I had that here. So no, that's not where it's at. Where do I have that at, man? I thought I had it. I know I have it. Give me a second, family, while you guys discuss a few things in the chat room. Let me pull up something for you that's really, really important. Let me get that to you. I think I may have closed the screen, but I'm gonna get it back. Go to Google. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Here we go. And we are gonna get it. We are gonna get it. We're gonna go in. We are gonna go in. We're gonna go in. That. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So family. I stuck here. What? So family. What I'm gonna do again is I'm gonna share my screen with you one more time to show you something else, because family, this information is important. All right, it's important. Now we're here talking truth. We're here bringing the real. This is the real, the truth. YouTube. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you again. Okay. All right. All right, we're gonna go. Present that with everyone. All right, good. So family, right here we are at the the Social Security Administration. So this is their site. You see their seal. It is legit. It is what it is. So we're going to talk about the Social Security number for now for children. Okay, so let us look at the first few sentences because you have to know how they got you trapped. So Social Security numbers for children. All right, it reads, when you have a baby, one of the things that should be on your to-do list is to get your newborn a Social Security number. Okay, now it said one of the things that you should do. Now family, you see a lot of old people read, but a lot of old people don't read. You have to read with an understanding and an overstanding. A lot of old people read and they understand, meaning that they are under the information and they don't know what it's saying. But when you read, you have to read with comprehension. The English language is a very funny language. It's a folk tongue language that gets you tied up into a lot of things. That's what it was made for, to enslave you. So I'm going to read that again. When you have a baby, one of the things that should be, not must be, but that should be, that means you have a choice, to-do list is to get your newborn a Social Security number. The easiest time to do this when you give information for your child's birth certificate while you are still at the hospital. If you wait to apply for a number at the Social Security office, there may be delays while we verify your child's birth certificate. Now, here goes the question. Why should I get a number for my child? Okay, you need a number. You need a Social Security number for your claim to claim your child as a dependent on your income tax return. Your child may also need a number if you plan to open a bank account, or etc., buying saving bonds, etc., get medical coverage for the child, apply for government assistance, etc., etc. Here's the main question. Must my child have a Social Security number? Now you see the question here. Must my child have a Social Security number? This is the answer. No. Getting a Social Security number for your newborn is voluntary, but getting a number when your child is born is a good idea. I'm going to repeat myself from the Social Security Administration website. Must my child have a Social Security number? No. Getting a Social Security number for your newborn is voluntary, but getting a number when your child is born is a good idea. Wow, family. All righty. So as you could see, I am giving you guys some jewels today. All right. So I just proved to you that getting a Social Security number is voluntary. Okay. Those are contracts. And we already spoke about contracts. So I'm not going to go into that. You see, family, we have to go back to the ways of our ancestors. We didn't have Social Security numbers. We didn't have birth certificates. Those are contracts that tie you into a construct that make you a slave. You see, they tell you you don't need, okay? They tell you if you want to get one, those are the privileges by having one. So you see, they put us in a position where for us to operate, they force us into what's called forced assimilation. That's what it's called. That's why you have UNDRIP and the American Declaration to protect your rights. I hope y'all hear me. It is not mandatory. It is not an obligation. It is a choice. So you do these things voluntarily, and people perish for the lack of knowledge. You don't need that contract. When you contract with them, you put yourself in a position to be subjected to them. You put yourself in their jurisdiction. Right in the, you see, our people, a lot of our people don't read. They don't read. The master say, do it. Okay, let's do it. I'm scared. If I don't, they're going to send me to jail. You don't need a Social Security number. The American Aborigines, which is what called the Indians, we are not supposed to be paying taxes because this is our land. We are not supposed to pay taxes on our land. The only people who are supposed to pay taxes are the pilgrims, the people who came to our land. They are the tenants. But I hope y'all hear me though. You don't need a Social Security number. It is voluntary. Now let us go into the chat room. All right. Family, once again, go to the GoFundMe, hit the link, support. As you could see, I am trying my best to bring that information to you. I'm doing the research. And first, I just want to say, thank you to many other people who do research, the other chiefs who do research as well, because a lot of this information that I provide, a lot of them they have helped in my research. So I just want to give them thanks for, for assisting, in playing their part in making it easy for me to research and bring the information to you. So this is not just me putting in the work. Those are other chiefs as well, that's doing what I do, and they share the information with me. So I just want to give them credit for that, but family, again, go support the GoFundMe, because that's what I do. You know what I mean? That's what I do, because I spend all day doing the research. Well, the searching, I search it first, then I research it, then I insert, then I bring it to you. So it takes, like I said, a lot of energy and time. So I thank those of you who have donated sometime this week. I appreciate, love you. Thank you so much. But others, it would be grateful if you give back as well. So go hit the GoFundMe so that we could make this thing happen. But family, let us go into the chat right now. And also, family, I want you to check out this website. Okay, so I just post a link of a website, www.indigenouspeoplesunited.org. We are a group of indigenous people that's coming together, okay, restoring and reclaiming our ancient cultures, our ancient ways, but together. That's what it is, together. You know what I'm saying? The numbers, that's what we have to do. Come together, okay? Come together as a people, all right, to reclaim what's ours, restore our ways, all right? Make sure that UNDRIP is being implemented. Make sure that the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People is being implemented. And that's what we're doing. So I'm a proud member of www.indigenouspeoplesunited.org. That's www.indigenouspeoplesunited.org. A group of indigenous people that's moving forward in rebuilding, in reclaiming our ancient ways and our cultures. All right, so feel free to check out the website, check out the links, and if you so choose to become a member, definitely would love to have you as part of the family, because I myself could, I could bring all the information, but just imagine if it was 10,000 of us, 1,000,000 of us. They say it's only about 45 million of us here. No, it's about 150 million of us on the mainland alone. Just imagine if only 5 million of us knew that we were indigenous and came together. Can you believe that, family? So I have given you so much information here that you could go research to prove me wrong. I don't want you to believe anything I say. Trust but verify. Okay, so let us go into the chat. Been missing the good vibes, Jazzy. All right, high vibes, high vibes, family. All right, so family, now I'm in the chat because I think that concludes the presentation. But family, in essence, just to summarize, all right, I have shown you that you were always here. You didn't come from Africa. Yes, they did bring some slaves from Africa here, okay? But we were already here. They mixed in with our people. That's number one, okay? Because I showed you who the description of the people they found when they came. The Native Americans, yes, they're natives, but they're not the American Aborigines. They are not the original people, okay? That's number two. I have proven that. I have shown you that you are the Indian, but because they gave you citizenship on the, but it is contingent or provided only if it didn't impair, okay, on your natural given rights to your tribal ways and your property. So that was taken. We don't have that. So that means you're not a citizen. So that means you are literally nationless, okay? That's why they had to call you all these different names, black, colored, all type of things, okay? So I proved that to you. I also proved to you that our ancestors, the Constitution is ours and how they have to respect us, but they can't respect you because the Constitution that our ancestors put in place to protect us is to protect the Indians, the Aboriginal people. But you are black or African American, so that doesn't apply to you. You see the trick? You see how they took you out of the protection of that Constitution so that they could put you in a jurisdiction where they could shoot you in the street. You don't get shot in the street because of your complexion of your skin. No, you get shot in the street because of a classification of being called Black or African American. So I proved that to you. Okay. I also proved to you that you don't need a social security number. Is not mandatory. It is voluntary. You volunteer yourself to contract with these people. So when they get to abuse you, so when they come take their children, once you sign these things, your children are not yours anymore. So once again, my disclaimer, I am talking to indigenous people. I am not talking to the citizens of the United States. We are not citizens. You think you are, but we are not. All right. Anyway, yes, I already did videos and spoke about the birth certificate. It is the same thing. It's a contract. Okay. It is a contract. We don't need those things. And family, the key is to go back to the ways of our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't have birth certificates. When mama had a child, mama knew who her child was. The whole community knew who the child was. That was the birth certificate. That was the birth recognition. We had birth recognition. We didn't have birth certificates. Okay. Wow. I just made that up. But you see what happened when you're vibing on a high frequency? High vibes, Jazzy. High vibes. You know what I mean? We had birth recognition. We didn't have birth certificates. So we have to go back to the ways of our ancestors. Stop signing these contracts that's making your children slaves. Stop giving birth to slaves. Okay? Give birth to landlords and the people who are the natural heir to this land. Everything else is a contract that you're signing willingly or unwillingly. It is still a contract, whether you know or not. You see, ignorance is no excuse of the Lord. You can't say, whoa, well, I didn't know. Well, now you know. Okay? All right, cool. If we, like I said, we're in the chat. Family, let's build. Let's build. We're in the chat right now. You know, family, encourage, you know, everybody to go, you know, support the GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this is the truth platform right here. All right. This is about true liberation. How our people could come together and reclaim what's ours. Okay? Because you're not going to do it under being Black. You're not going to do it under being African American. It's impossible. Believe me, it's not going to happen because those people are dead. That don't exist. So for all your lecturers and teachers you so adore that's keeping you Black, ask them about that. Why they don't talk about it? They will never tell you about those things because they are getting paid to keep you misled or misinformed or remain a slave. Okay? Well, allegedly. I don't want to put that out there like that. But anyway, family, based on what we spoke of, anybody have any comments, any questions, anything that they want to build on? Let me know, because like I said, this is what we are here for. We are building, okay? You know, that's what we are doing. We are putting things in perspective, all right? That's what we are doing right now. Talking to the American Aborigines, talking to all the indigenous peoples around the world. Get your affairs in order because things are happening as you know. Remember, there's a saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. So right now, executive orders are being written to change your life. So now, for these executive orders not to affect you, you have to go back to your indigenous ways. I hope y'all hear me though, because those things only apply to their citizens. Although you're not a citizen, but you don't know you're not a citizen, so it applies to you. I hope you realize that, okay? Chief has wealth of info on his channel. Yes, family, I have definitely a plethora of information that I would suggest you guys go check out the videos. Now, like I said, I don't want you guys to believe anything that I say. Don't believe me. I want you to really think that I'm a liar, okay? Because every man has a potential to lie. So I want you to research the information. In fact, search, because you could only research something if you have already searched for the information. So go ahead and search the information. And after you search it, research the information, and then prove to me that I'm lying. Go ahead. All right. So I'm going to end this video because, like I said, I don't want it to be, you know, just drawn out just because, you know, I want to be on camera. No, this is about bringing the information, bringing the message to you. And that's my only goal. All right. So once again, I thank you guys. Miranda says, one of my son's school is trying to get me to sign a contract or supply new birth certificate. Miranda, you know, you don't have to, you're not subjected to do that. All you have to do is just slap them with UNDRIP or plus the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. It's a violation of your indigenous rights. Okay, so you let them know who you are, and that will handle that situation. Or what you could do is you could slap them with a lawsuit if they violate your indigenous rights. Okay, trust me, once you start speaking indigenous, it's a whole different conversation. Trust me. When you go with this I'm black and I'm African American stuff, oh well, they got you. Okay, they got you. But once you start, if you, and I'm saying if you are indigenous, okay, once you're indigenous and they can't tell you who you are. You know who you are. Oral history. If great grandmama said this is who you are, this is who you are. As a matter of fact, oral history is literally more important than doing a DNA test. Okay, so, and I'll talk about the DNA test thing on a whole different video, all right, because I have to go in depth with that, and I don't want to take it to a whole different level, because I did do a DNA test, but I'll talk about that. In fact, I did two, and I'll talk about that in another video. So we don't need to do DNA tests. It's literally our ancestors say this is who we are, this is who we are, because these Europeans, they're not showing DNA tests to say that they're Americans. So why does the American Aborigine have to do a DNA test to prove who we are? Our ancestors say this is who we are. We're indigenous to the land, so this is who we are. But you know what? I have no regrets, okay? Because I had to go through what I had to go through. You see, the ancestors put me on this journey for a reason, and I had to go through certain things. So it is what it is. I had to be what you call, I'm not going to say a guinea pig because I'm not a pig, but I had to be a guinea person or guinea people because I represent the people, okay, to go through the motion to bring that information to you. So I'll do a video specifically talking about DNA test, and I'll talk about my results, and I'll talk about why our people should not do DNA test. All right. And again, based on my own research and my opinion, but I will show things to prove to you exactly what I'm talking about. All right. So yes, family. So, you know, like I said, man, you know, we have to get up and start making these moves. All right. Because the whole paradigm of being black and dead, that's played out. Okay, it has no standing within law. There's no protection for black people or African Americans in this country because it wasn't meant to protect them. Okay, they had to make you that so that they could literally be able to kill you in the streets. I hope you guys are getting this. Okay, your protection is in the Constitution that our ancestors wrote to protect their children, but they had to take you out of that jurisdiction and make you black and African American to make you property, okay, to make you a construct of a corporation so that they could treat you as such. Don't get caught up with these conscious people and these so-called teachers on YouTube and these lecturers that's calling you black and I'm proud. No, they are literally sending you to the guillotine, to, pardon me, to get your neck chopped off. That's real talk. These people don't love you. Believe me, they don't. They see an opportunity to capitalize, to make money on an energy that's paying people to keep you black, and black is powerful. It's a movement that's generating money, and that's what they're focused on. I don't give a damn about the money. I am here for the liberation of my people. Of course, I ask for you, for you to support the GoFundMe, but this is not what this is about for me. All right. If this was about money for me, I would be on the whole let's be black thing. Okay, let's be black and black power and all that and that. No, you see, that's for popularity. I don't want that. I want to bring you the authentic truth. I want to bring you what's literally going to liberate our people. Okay, come out of the darkness and come into the light. Okay, the darkness is being black, being property, being a slave. Coming to the light is you being indigenous, the natural heir to this land. Prove me wrong. Wake up tomorrow and know that you are indigenous and start putting your affairs in order, and you'll see how your life start changing. That's what I'm going to say. All right. Black means, yes, absolutely. Be black. All right. So family, like I said, I love the color black. You see, if I was black, you wouldn't be able to see my clothes. You know what? Let me show you me being black, what that means. Look at my face. If I was black, my face would blend in. Okay, so when people come with their ignorance, you see, and the emotions, you see what I'm talking about? Again, people perish for the lack of knowledge. the lack of knowledge. And all our children that's dealing with the system because they are black. You see, that's why they are going through what they're going through. But we have to start. Okay, we have to start and change this paradigm right now. Okay, we are not black. We are not African American. We are the American Aborigines, the one they call the American Indians. We are the natural heir to this land. All right, do you think all of these mega preachers are being paid? Of course, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. Of course, it's a business. They know the deal. They have to sign contracts to the cloth. Okay, they know about the doctrine of discovery. They know about the papal bull. They know about the Christian codes. They know about that. But it's a business. It's a business to get paid. All right, they know that. Your spirit will guide you. You shall know where you're from. Absolutely. Our ancestors, you know, it's within, I mean, it has always been a conviction, you know, when you are in tune and you raise your vibration and you raise your frequency, the ancestors, they put you on the right path. They put you on the right frequency to meet the right people. Because you see, it's inevitable that we as the indigenous people get back our land. We have to get it back. So shall it be in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, people, and that's why they have to spend so much time to distract you. That's why they have to put so many agents in place. You even have agents calling agents agents. You know what I'm saying? Because, but one thing I want you to know is this. Anybody who call you black, they're an agent. Period. Anybody who keep calling you black, they're an agent. Period. You don't believe me? You will see. My words will come into fruition. You will see the price you're going to pay for being black in this country, because you don't realize it means that you are dead. But y'all going to learn, though. Y'all going to learn. You know, my grandmother always used to tell me something when I was growing up. You're going to either you're going to learn, what she used to say, you're going to learn the hard way, but she's going to say, if you don't hear, you will feel. Yep. My grandmother always told me that. If you don't hear, you are going to feel. And for those of you who continue calling yourself black and you don't want to wake up to the truth, you will feel, because you're already feeling it. Watch and see. Oh, of course, all these slave movies and pro-black groups dropping up. Yep, popping up, because you see, they know that the American Aborigines is waking up. So they have to go hard. They have to promote them. They have to pay them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they have to do. That's what they have always done. But it's okay, though. The same way they said that we were extinct, no, we're still here, and we are going to prevail. No fear in this American Aborigine right here. My ancestors sent me to do a job, and I'm doing it. All right? The reason so many of our people don't get it is because the frequency is low. They cannot connect to the absolutely family. And that's what they have their movies, you know, the movies, the videos, the conscious community. All those are low vibrational platforms that keep our people vibrating on that frequency, so they cannot see the light. If you're in darkness, you will stay in darkness. But I guarantee you, if you just take a match or a flashlight or even a lighter and you flick it, you will see some light. It will eradicate the darkness. So if you want to stay in the dark, go ahead. I am 43 years on earth. My spirit has always told me something wasn't right. Absolutely, Johnny. You know, you see, we came here with the innate truth within us. Everything else is what we were taught. You feel me? You have to realize that you came directly from the source. You came from the source with everything already encoded in you. You don't see animals paying rent, do you? You don't see animals buying food, do you? Why is that the so-called man that's so smart? Huh? Why are we paying rent? Why do we have to buy food? You see, those things are not natural. It is not organic. But all that came from a patriotic society. Man, and I'm talking about the sex man. Okay? The species man. All right? The patriarchal society is what introduced the low vibrational energy, because the female, the matriarch, the women, they have always vibrate on a high frequency. So the patriarchal society took away the matriarch, and that's why we are dealing with this situation right now. But know that the American continent, our people, our ancient ancestors, they have always honored, and our systems have always been matriarch. The women have always ran the home. The women have always made decisions and gave input on even foreign affairs. Okay? In fact, they chose the chiefs. But our people don't know that. So here we are disrespecting our women, calling them bitches, calling them hoes, and some of our sisters even call themselves bitches and hoes. Oh, I am a bad bitch. I mean, literally. I mean, you are two things I don't want in a woman. First off, you said you're bad. I don't want nobody who's bad. And two, you're a bitch. I don't want no female dog. So you are a bad female dog. Why would I want that as a man? But our sisters are so proud to be a bad bitch. Huh? Come on, man. So those are people who are vibrating in a low frequency. And you wonder why a lot of our children are the way they are. Who wants a bad bitch? I don't. And take so much pride in being that. Oh, let me tell you what it means to be a bitch. No, there's only one meaning to be a bitch, a female dog. Don't tell me what it means or what you want it to mean. It means you're a female dog. Come on, man. It's about time our women start raising their standards. Okay? Stop allowing this patriarchal society to destroy our women. Okay? If you see a sister falling, pick her up. She may not know her value. She may not know her worth. Pick her up, because all our societies was matriarch. Okay? We supported our women. When there were important decisions to be made, the men went to the women. Y'all ain't running things. Y'all think y'all running things. And any society is as great as its women. Anytime you see men in charge, ego. Okay? We got to see who got the bigger nuts. All right? We got to see who got the bigger chest. You know, sisters, women, they see things differently. Women's intuition, they are more connected to Mother Nature than we are. It's that woman intuition thing. They see danger we don't see. They feel things we don't see. And it doesn't mean that I'm putting our men down. No, that's not what it means. It means we need to put our women back in the place that they belong. Okay? America, that's female. All right? So y'all got to know, man. Y'all got to know that whole, male chauvinist and egotistical behaviors, disrespecting women, thinking you are the man. You cannot be a man without a woman. So what is wrong with y'all people, man? What is wrong with y'all people? Our civilization is going to grow as much as our women grow. And that's facts. You see what these Caucasians do? They get married to their women. They don't call them bitches and hoes. I mean, of course, the uneducated ones, come on, they like the so-called, black, uneducated so-called black people. But you see what they do? They honor their women. Okay? They show them in good light. And don't get me wrong, you will see some information where some of them may disrespect their women. But I'm talking about generally, on a whole, what they do. They uplift their women. When they show them in movies, they show them in relationships, love. You know what I'm saying? They get married. When they show movies about our women, oh, it's either they hustling, they being bitches, they being hoes. You know what I'm saying? You see, that's images. That's what they are promoting to our people, because they don't want our women to know that they are the true goddesses of this land. They're the true queens of this land. All right? They are the natural heir to this land. So that's why when they had to come, they had to marry our women, because, land was allocated through the matriarch. But y'all don't hear me though. All right. If you go in the twisted Bible, when Jacob and Esau, right? When one stole the other one's birthright, who came and made the decision who the birthright should go to? Even if the father wanted to give the birthright, who had to solidify it? You see, y'all don't peep the allegory. Y'all don't peep the game. The mother was the one who had to decide who the birthright was going to go to. Y'all better wake up. It's about the woman. It's about the woman. And that's why they have to spend so much time disrespecting and degrading our women and teaching our men, my sons, the Masons, the original Masons, the original my sons. Okay? My sons, mother's sons, teaching them how to disrespect mama. But y'all don't hear me though. That's why I honor our women. All right? I respect them. I uplift them. I want them to know who they are, because they are the ones that's going to put this in place and fix the mess that men created. And I could prove it to you over and over and over again. How many of y'all men that get in trouble when the fathers are not around and it's mama that have to come see your ass in jail? Huh? When you get in trouble or something happened, who's the first person that you call? Mama, I hurt my foot. Who? Even if there's a father in the house. Even if there is a father in the house, who is the first person you call when you get a boo-boo? You call mama. You know why? Because it's natural to call mama. Because she is the natural naturer. That's who she is. I hope y'all hear me. It is time that we start uplifting our women. Anyway, I'm about to end this video. I mean, let me see. Just look at TV. Yes. They have to go to the, it says, have to go to the city or county. Miranda, I'm not sure about the question, but family, you know, everything that you have to do, man, you know, like I said, you're not asking people for permission. It's about you putting them on notice. I am not asking you who I am. I'm not asking for your permission. I am indigenous to the land. That means that I was here before you came. So that means I don't need your permission. I'm just making you aware of who I am. All right? So I hope that makes sense. I appreciate that. Wake up with Mr. Pete. All right. So family, again, you know, I'm not sure if my email is in the link below, but if it's not, I will put it after the live feed. Let me put it here again. Okay. So, you know, you guys have my email. My email is here for anybody who want to build, because family, this is what it's about. Again, this is not about me. This is about us. Because if this was about me, believe me, I would definitely be on the let's be black thing. Because you know what? That pays. That pays, because people are with the foolish pride. Okay? They are black and proud. Not realizing that means you're dead and proud. You are a zombie, the walking dead. If this was about anything else for me, that's what I would be promoting. Because that gets you paid. Getting you black, I mean, being black gets you paid. Believe me, it gets you paid. But you know what? I would rather not get paid from deceiving my people. So that's why I ask you to go donate to the link, please. You know, support. All right? Because that's what I do. That's what I love. All right? And I'm always going to stay true to this. I'm always going to stay true to this. All right? I put them on notice through. Miranda, you know, again, you know, you have to, you know, if you're going to resurrect yourself or your nation, you know, some of the things that you have to, you know, you have to, again, I don't want to come across again as soliciting. You see, you guys have to realize this is a thin line between what I'm doing. Okay. I don't want to come across as I'm soliciting United States citizens. All right. Because I don't want nobody knocking on my door. You feel me? So I have to be very meticulous and precise in some of the things that I say. That's why I like to make my disclaimer. All right. if you're gonna resurrect your tribe or nation, you know, you have to come up with your own paperwork, all right, to, you know, to put these people on notice. Okay. Now, again, like I said, I am part of an organization, you know, called indigenouspeoplesunited.org, www.indigenouspeoplesunited.org, where we as a collective of people come together and reclaiming our culture, our identity, our, you know, who we are, going back to our ancient ways. So that's why I always speak to indigenous people. You feel what I'm saying? I always speak to the indigenous people. You know, so it's only certain things I could just come up here and be like, blah, blah, da, 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 because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, and I don't want y'all to take offense to this. When you see, when these people come knocking on your door, and people like me get arrested, we don't see people to come bail us out. And I'm not saying everybody's that way, but I've seen it happen, and I'm only gonna speak on. And don't take this the wrong way, please, but I'm a realist. Okay. I see it happen all the time when people like myself have so much passion and love for my people, and we do what we do, and these people come and they do things to us, and they put us in their jails, and they do what they do. When it's time to come bail us out, we can't find these people. You feel what I'm saying? We can't find these people, so we got to keep it real here. All right. And like I said, I want to keep it real with y'all, but I don't want to come off as I'm holding information back. I'm not. It's just certain things I could say and certain things I can't say, because this is a thin line. You have to understand, well, not understand, but understand that these people set up a system to keep our people entrapped, and they don't want to let you go. But it's like kind of like voluntary, but involuntary, meaning that we're going to provide information for you, like the social, the birth certificate. You know what? It's not mandatory, but if you sign it, then you could get these privileges. You see, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to catch bees, what you do, you provide honey. So the honey is literally all those little privileges that they gave you. You feel me? So you have to be able to know how to do what you got to do. But like I said, you have to create your forms, you know, to, if you're not going to create it, then again, you know, there are certain organizations, you know what I'm saying, that people come together, indigenous people come together, and they help each other build. You feel me? So like I said, that's what I'm doing. You feel me? Because I know I cannot do this alone. And that's why you see in videos, you see certain groups, okay? And again, certain groups, like some Moors, I said some, not all, but some Moors, certain Hebrew Israelites, the FBI comes, they shut them down and they get arrested because they are peddling paperwork. And I don't want to come across as if I'm peddling paperwork, because when they come knock on my door and they arrest me, y'all ain't coming to bail me out. And that's keeping it real. All right? That's keeping it real. I just got to be honest, because I am here giving the information for free. And I asked to support the GoFundMe, and it seems like that's kind of tough. So I know that situation happened. Y'all going to have my ass sitting in jail. So I got to watch my back. All right? But I love you guys, though. I'm going to keep it real. All right? So, family, but it's only so much can be said. That is true, Jazzy. Only so much can be said on this open platform. That's why I ask for our people to unite and come together. That's what it's about. Let us go back to the ways of our ancestors, okay? And once again, my disclaimer, I am talking to indigenous people only, okay? Indigenous people around the world, and definitely the American Aborigines, okay? I am not soliciting United States citizens, all right? I'm just making my disclaimer, because I don't want nobody pulling up any video, and I'm not giving anybody any permission to pull up my intellectual property so that it could be misconstrued. All right? Please. I just got to put that out there. I am an American Aborigine, indigenous to the Americas, and I am talking to my brothers and sisters. All right? So family, I'm about to get out of here. I am hungry. I got to get something to eat. Jazzy, I'm hungry, Jazzy. Jazzy, I am hungry. Jazzy, I'm starving. I need some food. I need to eat, man. But family, I'm about to get out of here, man. I love you guys, man. And like I said, you know, the whole key to this is for us to know where we came from. If you don't know where you came from, then I promise you, you don't know where you're going. And that is just the bottom line. You see, too many of the American Aborigines, I mean, literally, over at least 90% of the American Aborigines right here in this, on this continent, especially the mainland, they are indigenous to the Americas. And they have these people letting them think they are from Africa. And that's a sad thing. You know what I mean? And you have all these lecturers and so-called scholars and master teachers on YouTube and Facebook that's misleading our people intentionally, because the Boule, okay, this big organizations, they have the best interest in putting you in Africa, because if they put you in Africa, that means the land is theirs. So you have to wake up and see what's going on. All right. And that's really sad. But once we wake up and realize that we didn't come here on no slave ship, okay, we have always been here, then you will start waking up to know that this is your home, this is your land. All right. Malcolm X told you, you are the American Aborigines, but you don't like being called Aborigines. Martin Luther King told you, you are exiled in your own home. The only way for somebody to be exiled is in their own home. You cannot be exiled in somebody else's home. But I hope y'all hear me though. I hope y'all hear me. All right. So you tell me, Jazz, where we gonna go eat, man. I'm starving. All right, so family, I'm about to get out of here. You got the email. Again, go back, check the information. Don't just, again, believe everything I say. All right. Go ahead and search the information, research the information, prove me wrong. And if there's something that's not correct or something that needs to be improved, then you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's build on it. Because again, I'm here for the total liberation of our people. And once again, I want to thank every I want to thank all the researchers, you know, all the chiefs, you know, that's doing heavy research, and also that's allowing me to get some of the information that they provide. So I thank them for that as well, because I can't take credit for all this work that I'm putting in. Other people as well gave references and they post stuff on their Facebook, and I take it. And so I got to give them credit for doing the research as well. And of course, Derek, yes, Aboriginal Americans, we're here. We never left. We have always been. They say we extinct, but again, peep the game. Peep the game. I showed you and proved to you who the original people was. So what you're trying to tell me, if all these original people was here, all of a sudden they just disappeared, and all of a sudden the new Indians was the natives? No. Peep the game. Don't let them fool you with that. So fully sublime said, thank you, Chief Kalanago, for bringing truth and understanding. Super high vibes. No doubt, always, all day, every day. Indigenous power. You feel me? Black has no power, so it's indigenous power. That's what it is. American Aborigine power. That's what it is. You say high vibes. That's how we do it. Okay, let us stop promoting things that keep our people dead. All right. And one of my goals, and I promise you, I'm gonna make it come into fruition. I am gonna get rid of Black History Month. I am gonna get rid of Black History Month and replace this with Indigenous Peoples Month. Watch me. I'm gonna put in the work. And it doesn't mean that we need 1 month to be indigenous. No, we are indigenous 365, baby. But we could choose 1 month to do cultural dances and do stuff like that, all those different things. But I'm gonna put in that work to get rid of Black History Month, because that's not who we are. That is not us. Okay, that belongs to the slaves. We were not slaves. We are not slaves. That belong to slaves. We are indigenous. We are the American Aborigines. And I am gonna make sure I put in the work to establish what you call an Indigenous Peoples Month. And I want you guys to help me out with that as well. All right? It's time we start reshaping our own story. Let us stop allowing these people to tell us who we are. Great-grandmama said you a little Indian. That's the code word that means that you are the original one. And you don't need no damn DNA to prove that. All right? So I'm about to get out of here. And I will talk to you guys soon. Once again, thanks to all those who have donated to the GoFundMe. The link is below. I'm asking for your support and your love. All right? So as soon as this ends, go hit the GoFundMe link and show some support. All right, family. So shout out to everybody that was on the chat. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate your energy. Thank you for allowing me into your homes, on your phone, your school, wherever you are at work. All right. I appreciate you for allowing me to get into your space to share this information with you today. Please share the information. Ask your friends to go subscribe. You know, we need to get more of that information out to the people. Melanie Love says, your words are so encouraging. I am putting in my work, spreading your word. Absolutely, family. You know what? And I'm not going to take the credit. It's not my word. It's our word. You know, this came from the ancestors. I just want you to know that they sent me. This is not about me. It's about us. Okay. And I want us to get away from it's about me. It's about the single eye. It is not about the single eye. It's about the first eye. Let us see things from a different perspective. All right. Let us stop seeing me and it's about me. No, it's about us. Let us go back to what our ancestors practiced. That was our culture. Okay. It was about everybody in the community, the village. All right. So I appreciate the kind words, but I have to say that it's our words. It's our work. It's our land. It's our Constitution, because we are the people. In the preamble of the Constitution, it says, we the people. We the people, not black. We the people. There is no such thing as black people. We the people, meaning that the indigenous people. And I could prove to you again, like I said, I'm always going to show you. If you look at the link below, look at UNDRIP, the American Declaration for the Rights of Indigenous People. It doesn't say for black people. It doesn't say for African American. It says for indigenous people. Now you have to ask yourself, if the natives that they call Native Indians right now were the original indigenous people, why would they need to implement that if they are already recognized? So the question remains, who are these indigenous people Obama signed this thing to protect? You see, y'all not peeping the game. The indigenous people are you and I. We, the people, we as the indigenous people. And yes, the natives are our brothers and sisters as well. But a lot of them don't want to recognize us because they are afraid. They are afraid. You know what I mean? But the truth will come out that we have been here. We have always been here. We are the original people. Okay? So when they speak of the indigenous people, they are talking about you. That's why UNDRIP and the American Declaration for the Rights of Indigenous People was adopted. Go look at it, and then that will start to open up your mind, let you know that this was specifically put in place for you, because being black makes you dead. It makes you a slave. Those people don't exist. Okay? Those are 3/5 of a human. They are the zombies that they talk about. They are literally the walking dead. So now I'm here to bring you back to life, bringing you into the light, so to speak. All right? So I'm going to end this video. Much love. Talk to you guys soon. All right? Peace and love. I'm out. Chief Kalinago.